are back. Welcome back to Something Energy Videos proudly presents Bearded Ramblings.
Canada.
Now in Canada flavor. We should have had.
Our show is especially maple flavored today.
Yeah. Not
Who's the Canadian?
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Canadian?
Yes.
Aggressively so. Aggressively Canadian.
I'm not that aggressive.
That's the point. You're so passive by default. We're joined by the most aggressively Canadian person, Krendar.
Hi.
And first time.
Made.
Yeah, right. First time on the show, but well known and probably adored by all of you. Origin of language. How you doing?
Don't prop me up like that.
I have a question. What was it like to invent the concept of language?
It was pretty difficult. I mean, there's different languages, and not all languages are wholly insular, as you can tell. I mean, the English language, for example, is an amalgamation of Latin and German and French, so it's a bit of a mutt language. I picked the name because I thought it sounded really intriguing, and it fits with what my channel is about to an extent.
All right.
There you go.
You know, then, what is the language of love? Because there's conflicting arguments.
The language
Really,
of
it's
love?
German. Schmetterling.
I mean, if we're getting into phonetics, which is the sound of what words are when you say them, I don't think German is one that is very pleasing to the ears.
That
No.
was, in fact, the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was just adding on to it.
My last girlfriend, lady who was on stream more than once, she was very fluent in German, and she often tried to like impress me with it, and I was like, "That's really great pig noises you're making." And she was like,
I can understand why you're not still together.
I know, right? I'm such a catch. Sitting here sweating buckets in my oversized DP t-shirt on my failed podcast.
Aren't you from Ireland?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Not
some
from, but in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, in Ireland. There are some Irish accents that are so thick. It's honestly like I don't know what the heck I'm listening to.
Northern Ireland is absolute dog shit to try to understand when you're talking to a fast person.
But at least they're not Welsh, right?
Well, yeah, the Welsh have a different problem. You just can't take them seriously.
Yeah.
If they were pointing at like an asteroid that was coming to crush us, it'll be looking at that now, like a big ball of fire in the sky. Funny people.
I always have trouble remembering. There was that one character in Assassin's Creed Valhalla that was, I think, Welsh or something similar. I just remember that nobody in the game understood her except for one character. Like, even the other people living in England didn't know what the fuck she was saying. Even the subtitles that, like, how the Animus machine translates for the person using the Animus, it didn't even know what the fuck she was saying. She was great.
Yeah.
I think she was
There's
Welsh.
a video. There's a really popular video on YouTube about. You guys might have seen it because it's that popular. It's of this Irish schoolboy who talks about getting frostbite.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Oh, you want to get frostbite?
Hold on. Irish accent. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this dude.
This is a very thick Northern Ireland accent, I think.
Don't forget to unmute him.
I know, and show the screen. You know, what
I mean, I don't know if you're showing the screen or not, so I can't comment on that.
I am. They can see it now through the power of fiber optics and a Wi-Fi signal. Ooh. Before we go on, though, standard shilling stuff. if you throughout the night are so inclined to like, share, and subscribe, and check out the links in the doobly-doo, very much appreciated. Also, we have ourselves a stream goal, because thanks to you amazing people, we got the ticket. New York 2023 is a go. As soon as I actually buy the ticket, I'm waiting for something to sort out, but the money's there now, and it's not going anywhere. So yeah, this is a
Wintry walk to school in Port Village, but
yeah.
they're a hardy breed in these parts.
Well, the mother says we had to go anyway. We hadn't much of a choice in the matter, but sure.
It's a cold journey to school this morning.
Oh, God, you wouldn't be long getting frostbite.
It's nice to look at, but
Oh,
tough to live in.
frostbite.
And there's
Now, I have a question for you. Why do you have Newfoundlanders living in Ireland?
Why do you have Irish people living in Canada?
Because of the potato famine.
This is actually weirdly close to what Newfoundlanders sound like.
Yep. And Scots as well. A lot of Scottish accents also sound very similar to, not all, they have more of a sing-song voice, I've always found.
It's almost like there's a nearby province that's called Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. And that's more of a Minnesota accent.
Surprisingly enough, I believe it's also very like rocky and hilly place, just like Scotland. So
yep,
it's very fitting.
Yeah. Before that, they tried to settle in South America, and that ended so badly that the Scottish government ran out of money and had to get fused with the English. That's how it happened. They tried to settle in a place that they had no clothes or understanding on how to like live there, and they just showed up and they all died of malaria. As you do.
There's no respite
as
yet.
One does.
We have a lot of things to look at, but they don't all have to be annoyingly bad, especially because evil has been with us for years. Look when they banned the best thing in the world, driving while drunk. Can you believe the tyranny that we've been just taken for granted for decades? Remember what they took from us.
What are they going to do next? Start regulating our guns?
We can't put mercury in the water? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this used to be a
if my water doesn't glow in the dark, I don't want to drink it.
It doubles up as a nightlight. You save thousands on your electric bill.
Yeah, come on.
And all those things that are...
Why do you hate the economy?
I, for one, think that the future is ape-based. Bored ape.
World in Action anticipated breathalyzer tests in Britain by 2 days. On Friday night, we
Especially
took
if you ask Seth
regulation
Green.
breathalyzers supplied by the Home Office to the Green Dragon at Shenfield, a typical motorist pub in Essex.
Motorist pub. Like, what a simpler time. You know, all those pints of bitter, they just make your car go faster. Like orcs with the color red.
Statistics show that in Britain last year, drink played a part in 13,000 fatal or serious accidents.
Fake news.
Breathalyzer tests have been introduced in an effort to reduce that number.
I think it's
How
fairly
else are people
diabolical
going to
because
die? You got to find more unique ways for that to happen. I mean,
Yeah, get creative. How many of them involved sheep? Very few. That's a good place to start.
what we should do is we should get back to making commercials for smoking cigarettes. That's another thing we need to get back on, because people should have the freedom to, watch when they're watching TV. But let's be honest, not many people really watch like actual cable news anymore unless you're older people. You're just watching on your phone anyway. Just go back to, promoting cigarettes.
Yeah, like why couldn't have we had Gravity Falls? The kids there just break out a cool Marlboro or Lucky Strike, Like,
Of course.
Return to
Really
tradition.
Lucky Strike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take any account, for example, of the pedestrian who's had too much to drink. He could cause an accident. But...
Listen to these people trying to justify. Yeah. I'm so curious to hear what their arguments will be. He said it was diabolical that they're going to breathalyze people.
He doesn't get tested. It's the driver who gets tested, and I think that's unfair.
What do you think are your chances of getting away with it if you've had 1 over the 8?
Well, it's not 1 over the 8. 1 over the green crystal, perhaps. I think very good. I think because I will drive no differently.
Look at him having a
now,
smoke back there.
Police
Jesus
attention
Christ.
up to now.
There you go.
But the questions being asked about the tests are they accurate? Have the police the men and the means to enforce the law? And will they be effective as a deterrent?
Time, my lords, ladies, and the gentlemen, please.
Do you mind blowing into this bag before you drive?
Certainly not.
Did you hear that? Like time, gentlemen. Like, that's the that was how they used to say last call. They used to just Grenard, I was gonna say, did you freeze? Like you were just absolutely dead still there. You were turning into a statue.
One big blow. Pull it right up.
Oh, one big blow before
hell
you
yeah.
drive.
But didn't he say certainly not? Why is
Okay,
he
let's
doing
have a
it
look.
then?
How many drinks have you had tonight?
3
He
pints.
said he would not
3
mind.
pints.
Oh,
Well, look,
okay.
I'm
I thought he said
afraid you're
certainly
not sober anymore.
Oh,
Are you driving home tonight?
yes.
Well, on Monday night, that'll be illegal.
Well,
Do you think you'll still drive home on Monday night?
well, no, not if that's like it.
Well, 3 pints isn't much, is it?
It isn't very much, no.
But do you think you're still, perfectly capable of driving?
Quite capable, yes.
You don't sound very capable.
Well, I quite know. Well, I should be.
I contend that I'm perfectly fit to drive a car.
But you can't defy the law. It's a law of the land now.
You're all dead now,
America.
huh? Yeah, if you were that smart.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Barbara Castle says that the only rule is to not drink at all. Now, you're saying that you can. Why should you be so special?
Well, what does she know about it anyway?
Well, do you know that you're capable of driving?
I'm convinced that I'm capable of driving. I've done this for years now.
I don't see that I am. As I say, for many, many years, I've drove with far more liquor in me than I have now. And I've driven in Kenya, in Uganda.
I've driven it in the fucking colonies.
Listen, I've driven in other countries. That makes me good at driving.
I can drink and run over any native village I want. I'm the Duchess of Sumterberry.
Down in South Africa. And as I say, I still feel that I am capable of driving this car home.
So you're going to drive home tonight, and you're not going to change your drinking habits at all?
Certainly not.
All right, let's have a look.
At least they're
You're
very
drunk.
proper.
You're not capable of driving. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Well, quite honestly, I don't feel drunk. I mean, this is the point.
But this is the law of the land.
Yes,
You
I
cannot
do
drink and
realise
drive anymore over this limit.
I see. Oh, well.
He's so browbeaten.
I love-
Like, oh well.
I love how I love how they're all just very proper in their speech. They're just like, oh, well, certainly I will not do that. Then if this was happening here in America, like whoever they're interviewing, they'd be like, fuck you. You can't tell me what to do, you piece of shit. But here they're just like, oh, yes.
I'm sorry, I
shall
thought this was
certainly."
America.
My freedoms. What? It's in the Constitution to allow me to get smashed on Pat's Blue Ribbon and fucking Jaeger bombs and then drive into a playground.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Right. But will you do this when the law becomes in force on Monday?
Well, I wonder whether they'll sort of pick on the people like myself.
But you're drunk.
Oh, no, you see, I'm quite wealthy and white. Oh, right, yes.
That's the way it goes.
Well, tell me what you think about this law.
That was funny.
Well, no, basically, it's probably a good
He's
idea.
mugging like crazy.
Anything to prevent accidents on the road, I can't agree with. But it obviously, it's different with different people. And some people get drunk on a small gin. Other people take
This guy's the most
15 pints
intelligent
before
one
they
out
get
of the
drunk.
group, though.
But it's aimed at ordinary people like you and me, not alcoholics.
Yes, well, this is the trouble. I mean, what can I say? I'm drunk.
Well,
Fucking Chad. I hope he's alive. And I suddenly realized he's reminding me of someone. He's fucking Benny
might
from New Vegas.
I mean, he looks like he was in his 20s when they took this, so he may still be alive.
Christ, he'd be nearly 100 at this point.
he'd
now.
be in his 80s by now, around now.
Yeah.
Probably.
Still getting shit-faced and still driving a car from the same pub.
Well, if that's this law in, what else can it be? It's fair. But normally next week I wouldn't go to that extent. I've had 4 pints. So I shall keep down to 3 pints. Fair enough.
Do you think you really will keep to 3 pints?
Yes, I can manage on that. I can enjoy my evening on 3 pints of beer.
Drunken drivers should be off the road. But when they can convince me that passing that test such as you've done now, that you're drunk and not fit to drive a car, I think it's a lot of cock.
But you could drive a coach and horses through the present act.
I like how the guy just contradicted himself.
Why do you reckon you can do that?
Because you can go in and refuse to take the blood test. The breathalyzer is not the ultimate conviction. You can go through and take
Young
a blood
Prince
test.
Charles here.
You can go into the station. They'll ask for a blood test. You refuse that. You take a urine test. They wait an hour. They have to throw the first sample away. You wait another hour. Then you refuse to take the urine sample and say you'll take the blood test. If you take the blood test, then your blood alcohol will have dropped by at least 30 or 40, whatever it happens to be. I forget, milligrams or something.
You seem very well informed on the law, so you're going to carry on drinking as before, are you?
Yes, I've read the act, and I've made sure in advance that I know exactly what I'm in for.
Be ungovernable. Like, this guy is basically just telling you how to trick the law.
Anyway.
What's your job?
I'm a law student.
Oh my god, he is a fucking
Well, there you go. There you go. It's self-explanatory. At least he's well informed on it, unlike most people in America today about any law.
You can tell he's a law student because he was pointing out every little loophole that you can use.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't agree with the law, but I shall take notice of it because I don't want to lose my license for a year.
Makes sense.
Or, as the case might be, whatever the penalty is.
What do you think your chances of getting away with it are?
Well, I don't think they bring laws in that you can get away with anything today. I mean, 70-mile-an-hour limit, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, Mrs. Castle wants
I
to
like how
drive
these
people
people
off
are
the
all
road.
better spoken drunk than Americans typically are.
That's
so
what I mentioned.
Or
a few minutes
English.
ago.
Yeah.
They're so proper. It's just, even if they are drunk, they're just like, yes, well, I'm going to get into a very formal discussion with you about this, and I'm going to be very cordial. I like that. We should go back to this style.
I definitely agree.
Of etiquette.
And like they're when you go in there, you see they didn't even have a radio. Like the most they would have had would have been like a fucking newspaper. They spent that whole time just talking to people and having a laugh.
These poor people can't play Pokemon Go while they're supposed to be watching the road while they're driving.
Right? This is before all that. So no Snorlaxes for these poor people. A zero Snorlax world.
Well, we all know only cops on duty get Snorlaxes.
Yeah, and you think maybe that's what happened in Texas? You think maybe they didn't want to go in to stop that shooter because they were all looking at their phones?
No, I think they were just afraid of getting shot.
Oh, your one makes a little bit more sense, but only
cowards.
A little. Yeah. Could you imagine going through all those years of training, knowing full well that your life might be called up, and then when the time comes, everyone just looks at each other, armed to the fucking teeth, better than some militaries, and go,
But that's what made, when that happened, the first question I had was, the police people who were involved in this, like, there's different academies and different police. What's the word I'm looking for? Not police station, but police departments in different counties and different. I was wondering, like, what do they train the people at that one for? It's like I have no idea what their training is like for. So maybe they didn't even do anything for them. I have no idea, but whatever it was,
ticket quotas and not get shot.
Yeah, like it's just. I would like they should investigate, if anything, that the police who were there, like what they would been trained and how well they're trained in their academy. It's probably the most number one thing that you should do.
They are having that hearing right now, and in a rare act of justice, they refuse to allow the guy who's actually getting the hearing, the chief of police. He's actually on the board that's now reviewing him. So which means that he can remove himself from the board. And everyone was like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to do that. So they all agreed that he's not going anywhere. He has to stand trial. He has to face the inquiry, whether he likes it or not. And of course he doesn't like it. It doesn't fucking matter what he likes. He was held he should be held responsible. Because the kid who went on a murder spree, they're not. They're dead. They're dead. Like, and so are all the other kids as well. So, like, someone has to take the blame. I don't know if it's justice, but it's definitely better than nothing getting done. You know. Speaking of cop time. Police manhandle reporter Tina, who's got continue after being thrown down. You hear that? We're trying to protect you after he flung her to the ground.
Protect her from what?
Yeah, don't worry, we're here for your safety. He's gonna beat her with a fucking nightstick. What? Fair play to her. She just gets back up and just keeps on doing it. Jesus.
I like this guy's little Nerf gun.
What the hell?
Mary's becoming a fascist dictatorship.
I mean, with Supreme Court just doing whatever the fuck it wants all the time, yeah.
Yeah, every day it seems that they pass a new law that's just pure shit. Have you seen the gerrymandering thing is now up on the block, and it looks like that's going to pass.
I don't know what the gerrymandering thing is.
I don't know the details, but if I remember right, I was watching Vosh's stream earlier, and this was from yesterday. If it passes, it will allow each state representative body, so like the state house, to basically decide on voting, which includes things like just completely disregarding outcomes of elections. They could, if the ruling party doesn't want to be ousted, which no shock, they can literally just turn around and go, yeah, nope, all those Democratic votes, nope, all those black voters, they're not allowed to vote here, and it's now going to be allowed.
There's been so many ridiculous things being said since that happened that I wonder how much of it is somebody trolling it and like things aren't really happening.
Well, I'm not going to say anything that I don't know 100% of myself, so let's go and find that out.
I have to wonder about all of these things, like, because that sounds completely ridiculous, but then again, so does the other thing, so who the fuck knows anymore? Like, I think reality is just turning into The Onion.
Yeah. News. Supreme Court agrees to hear dangerous gerrymandering case on Republicans increasingly promoted their ways. Here we go. 2 days ago. Bam. Oh. Want you say something?
Sounds like the way this is titled, it sounds like somebody else brought this up and they're just listening to it.
Yeah, Republican and they're going to probably agree with them, considering.
Quite possibly.
Moore versus Harper, New Carolina voting map by court-appointed experts after early map proposed by Republican-led state legislator was struck down. Supreme Court in February rules that the map offered by the State General Assembly was partisan gerrymandering, violating free speech, free assembly, and equal protection provisions for state constitution. But the state legislator appears that the decision of the U.S. Supreme Court, which has agreed to take up the issue of redistricting and possibly restoring the Republican drawn map. So, yeah, it's independent state legislator theory, a fringe legal concept pushed by a small group of conservative advocates that would give state legislators broad authority to run federal elections without the traditional oversight from a state constitution or judiciary. Look, I don't know how else to say this. Like, January 6th would have succeeded had they only waited a little while longer, because this shit is just getting out of hand. The right is just sweeping away all these like guarantees, and they're doing so legally. That's the key thing. They
Speaking
don't
of
need.
which, well, the Supreme Court can basically do whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
But I heard they also did something about taking back the separation of church and state in some way. But I
Yeah.
don't know the details there.
So
of course they fucking did, right?
Yeah,
I'll disagree to some extent because I'm actually doing some research into how the judicial branch and how judges interpret law and statutes and canons, and what happened with Roe v. Wade is a case that might just be an example of people who voted to overturn it. They just didn't find a traditional reading or even just a methodological reasoning that made sense that was found in the Constitution. So this is very complicated stuff, and from any way you look at it. And when it comes to laws like this with the gerrymandering thing, I'm gonna read laws. Whenever I study into this type of stuff, I try to read the laws themselves instead of just go off of the articles. But schools of interpreting there's different schools of interpreting law, and some of the court judges on the Supreme Court probably do have different methodologies to doing that. So I don't think it's just biases that's just solely controlling their decision making in these cases, even if
I haven't heard. Hold on, no, I haven't heard one case of a right-wing judge over the past few months siding with a progressive or lefty talking point. It's all being based on party lines. It is 100% biased, and it is 100% getting worse.
Also, I also have to say, you mentioned canon amongst all of that thing, and I think we definitely need to definitely get some canons in there, and maybe that'll sort out the Supreme Court.
In Minecraft,
more cannons.
Lots of yeah. Like at this point now, did you see the interview with Kamala Harris? She's just this woman's asking her from CNN like, why aren't you doing something? And she's like, yeah, someone really should do something about all this. Like this is not the will of the people. This is not some plebiscite that wants to knock civil rights back. This is a small cadre of conservatives who want to do that, and they're getting away with it because the Democrats are a bunch of spineless pussies. Like,
well, the Democrats are also just bought out corporate, like influence people.
100%.
I mean, it's kind of the way the government's structured here in America is, at least from how I view it, it's just both parties are just gonna work in very menial different ways of keeping a conflict up of some type of way so that they can contain this facade for us, the regular people, like, oh, we have to fight against each other, because that keeps us, the American people, at each other's throats and hating each other as well. So it's just all just rigged to do this, just so that they can keep us all at each other's throats.
Oh, 100%. Like the two-party system, the electoral college, everything's all designed to basically have you play the rat race. But at this point now, if you're not going to vote in a Democrat, then why aren't you like arming yourself for the inevitable civil war? Because that like at this point now, I was actually talking to someone, Elf King. They're actually seriously thinking of getting a gun because they're deep in a red state. Like,
I actually don't think another civil war would happen in America, only because, in my opinion, Americans are so complacent in a way when it comes to being out in the real world, besides when you're not on your phones or like saying stuff on Twitter and such, like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And there might be a few protests every now and then, or a few protest or riots of whichever one. But at the end of the day, I think when we're out in the real world living our lives, we're very complacent drones, and we're just gonna buy the food that we need to survive and all this stuff. I don't think another civil war is ever probably gonna happen.
Then it's just
But
going to
that's
be
just my understanding.
No, I do think that there's a level of truth to that. I mean, if you'd have done this stuff back in the early part of last century, like there would have been real like riots, cities would be burning, and that's the level of change you need to get. You need another civil rights.
Well, back then,
moment.
I would agree with you to an extent, but remember back then, like back in the early 20th century, there was one of the reasons as to why the paradigm shift between the Republicans and the Democrats. We all know this, right? How the Democrats used to be
The
the
hardcore,
slavery
like,
and like
yeah.
Jim Crow party. There was a paradigm shift in the 60s in which the party sort of switched, and one of the many reasons as to why this is the case. In the 1950s, political scholars and strategists came together and they're like, let's see, what's the differences between the Democrats and the Republicans on policies, like strict policies? And they noticed that there wasn't very much difference. And not only that, but even the American citizenry, to a great extent, weren't very... You could find someone who voted a Democrat but then would also vote for a Republican at some point because they were so indistinguishable in some cases. So what they came up with to strategize in the years to come up with the new politicians is that we need to figure out ways to distinguish you two better. So we're going to come up with policies and issues that's going to divide Americans more. And that kind of has led to why we have what we have now, which is the super... like Republicans now are more the racial and the very like conservative Christian party, because they were also taken advantage of by evangelical Christian Baptist fundraisers in the mid 20th century. So there's another
Yeah,
reason
of
as to
course.
why they're so extreme.
They,
So it's a very complicated web as to why it's way more divisive here in America now than it used to be back in the early 20th century.
Well, yeah, but that still doesn't change the fact that they are like trying to divide people on real issues. They're issues that are completely made.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're
ironically.
not
Yeah.
real. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that they found a way to, hey, let's get you guys to distinguish each other, like to actually make you guys seem way different than you guys used to be so similar. So it made it way more tribalistic as well.
Yeah, which works great when there's only two tribes, right? It might as well be a game of Halo, which is better
Of
or
course.
blue. But the thing is that now it's kind of clearly obvious. Better for everyone is blue because it's set itself up as the only alternative. Too bad the blue team is not really trying to play. They're just trying to coax themselves till the next election, and then they'll get re-elected, and they'll get their money from their corporate overlords, and then they'll just constantly be like, yeah, we're going to make major changes. And even when they do try it, when people like Bernie Sanders and AOC show up, they're either sidelined. I mean, when's the last time you heard about Bernie doing anything? He's now just on Twitter occasionally saying, this is bad. Yeah, we know it is, Bernie. We all know it's bad. We don't need you telling us that. We'd like you to do something about it. I can't. Like, did I have some dirt on him or some shit like that? Like, I think ever since he lost the election.
Well, also Bernie is one specific senator, and he can only do so much with his influence. And he was super popular only 2 times back when he ran for president. Those 2 times. That's when he always had those surges. And ever since those runs he did, and he was not able to get through with them because the DNC is always going to be rigged against any sort of changer. Yeah, and because of that, ever since the last second election, people who consider themselves on the left and who would be for his type of policies, they're more interested in infighting more than anything else.
Oh, I know.
That's what they're more interested in.
My Twitter is full up of cute animals, half-naked women, and a whole lot of people, usually with pride flags, screaming that the other person with a pride flag is not progressive enough in some way.
Yeah, not pride enough.
Yeah,
it's purity testing at this point.
Yeah, it's so destructive.
I'm more oppressed than you.
Right? And then what the right does? It lets everyone in. No matter who you are. they will let you in. If you're one of the groups that they secretly hate, well, congratulations, you're one of the good ones. You're a pick-me. You're a quisling.
That's because right-wingers, and I was talking to Alan about this last night, right-wingers, since right-wingers in a more general sense are way more open with like the very capitalist, very hyper, we're gonna show you a product and we're gonna sell you this and this, and you're gonna buy it no matter what, because they're so into that way more than some leftists are. That makes them more open to like be like, hey, we have Dave Rubin. He's homosexual and he's a Republican now. Here's Candace Owens. She's a black woman and she's not a Democrat. She's a Republican and a conservative. We let in everybody with different voices.
Blair
And
White,
it's way
Jesse
more
Lee
about product.
Peterson. Yeah, because a lot of times, a lot of these people, especially online, a lot of these people don't really give a toss one way or another. It is just a grift.
Man, just thinking about that lineup though: Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peterson,
Ben Shapiro.
And they have their fans.
What
a goddamn dream team of shit show, isn't it?
You get them all together and then have them sit down, and they will just have the biggest bitch. Assuming that they'll like sit down. I don't think Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro will be in the same room together.
Well, Nick Fuentes is way more. He's not as mainstream as they are.
They literally used some of his footage in the January 6th clearing. That was surreal. They actually had him up on the big board, like on the screen when they were showing all these right-wing pundits. Nick Fuentes was talking about, hey, wouldn't it be fun if, they were all killed after all? And like, this was
when I say mainstream, I mean like he doesn't have a Daily Wire. He doesn't have a PragerU. He doesn't really have a big moneyed corporate interest backing him. That's kind of what I mean.
But yes,
maybe.
Give it time.
That'd be even way horrifying.
When that becomes when Nick Fuentes gets called like not being right wing enough
to the Blaze or something.
Oh God, yeah.
Or PragerU
now
is
sponsored by Taco Bell.
Why not? Why the fuck not? By the way, this woman here, this is what you were talking about, Krendar, the separation of church v. state.
Court recently ruled that a public high school football coach has a constitutional right to pray on the field after his team's games. It's yet another seismic ruling from the court's 6 conservative justices this term, and a big blow to the separation of church and state. This case is about Joe Kennedy, a football coach at a public high school in Bremerton, Washington. For 7 years, Kennedy would kneel in prayer on the 50-yard line after games, and students would often join him. First, he prayed alone quietly, but then when players from both teams started gathering around him, he led them all in prayer. When school officials found out this was happening, they told Kennedy he could continue giving motivational speeches only as long as they remained secular, because doing otherwise would give the impression that the school was endorsing a particular faith. Kennedy wouldn't stop and was placed on paid administrative leave. Eventually, he decided not to renew his contract. The case is a clash of 3 parts of the First Amendment. Kennedy's lawyers argued that offering a private prayer is actually covered by one part of the First Amendment, the right to free speech. They said Kennedy didn't lose that right just because he was on school property. And they argued that the school shouldn't ban his religious expression, which, according to them, is protected under the part of the First Amendment that says people can freely exercise their religion. But the school says that Kennedy was violating another part of the First Amendment, the part that says the state can't establish a religion. In the context of public schools, that's generally interpreted to mean that they and their employees should remain neutral toward religion. They can't elevate one religion over another. And even though Kennedy wasn't explicitly requiring his players to pray, there's a long line of cases where the courts have said that public school employees are not allowed to pressure students into prayer, which was arguably what Kennedy was doing as the team's coach. At least one student worried that Kennedy wouldn't play him as much if he didn't pray.
Yeah.
On its face, the case may not seem groundbreaking, and the court's decision may be pretty popular. An early June poll by YouGov and The Economist found that 52% of Americans think the coach should be able to offer a public prayer. But with this ruling, the justices abandoned a 50-year-old legal test for determining whether the government is violating the First Amendment's separation of church and state. Instead, they said that cases should be evaluated in light of the historical traditions of the First Amendment, traditions stemming from the late 18th century, when America was a far less religiously diverse nation. This case also reinforces a bigger trend. The conservative justices tend to rule in favor of religious plaintiffs. One recent study found that the court under Chief Justice John Roberts had a pro-religion ruling in 83% of its...
Jesus. And what were you saying about not having a bias? Or the bias not playing as much of a part? Like, this shit is so rigged. It's so rigged.
I will say I'm glad that she brought up some of those other cases in which that were brought to the Supreme Court that would address issues like this, and if it was unconstitutional or not. But I still, for me personally, I'm just speaking for me personally, when it comes to this sort of stuff, I would look into it myself, like the actual laws and how everything is interpreted. But like I say, there are justices who do have different interpretations of what she mentioned like a second ago. It's like some people view the law that has to be interpreted strictly as when the Constitution was originally written. That can be faulty in many ways, because the thing about law is, especially with these court cases that she brought up that were brought to that attention, is those cases also count in the grand canon of law. So you have to, if one is passed, if some of those laws are passed and it's addressing a code like this, which is the separation of church and state issue, then the judges who are now in present right now looking over these laws, they have to make sure if there's a cohesion there and if it all connects to the Constitution. And it all depends on their own methodologies on how they interpret law. Someone may be a literalist when it comes to the wording, and someone may be a little bit more flexible. So it really just depends. That's how I view it, though. But they do have their biases. No, there's not a single person who's without bias. But I just like to be as very meticulous in this sort of stuff as I possibly can. But maybe it is just wholly their bias in most cases. Maybe it's their methodology. Who knows? But that's just my understanding.
It's a genuine question. Like, if you could get away, you and a bunch of people are able to make laws that you want, or pass laws that you want, or put forward precedents for topics that you think need to be addressed, and there's no pushback. Well, of course you're going to keep on doing it, and you're going to get more and more. Everyone would do that. I'd do that if I was one of these chief justices, and I was like, "All right, should we talk about like legalizing marijuana?" And everyone was like, "That was a great idea." Well, okay, great. While we're at it, how about this whole abortion thing? Maybe we should bring it back. Yeah, no, that's a great idea too. Like, obviously, like if there's nothing stopping these people. The president should be the only one, should have some sort of check and balance over him. But no, he doesn't. Like, thank you, FDR, for showing us how to do it in a legal way, and then having the law changed right after. You know.
I mean, Supreme Court definitely needs some checks and balances, especially right now. I feel like they're almost purposely trying to get pushback right now.
Yeah, like how long before they try to implement slavery again? Seriously, there's some people tossing out those ideas.
Yeah, they're like, how much weird shit can we do until the Democrats finally actually push back?
All I'll say is that I don't like where America is right now. Hell, did you even see the EPA is no longer able to stop companies to cap their carbon emissions?
I've never been happier
I haven't
to
looked
be
into
Canadian.
Right? Well,
See if they push back. No? Okay, let's do the next one. No?
Yes.
Okay, let's do the next one.
100% think that they were expecting a bigger fight.
Push the next button now.
This is we need a palate cleanser, and this is a dish that I've always heard about, but I've never seen prepared. So Slovak.
Always heard about? You
Yeah.
never had souvlaki?
Never had it. Can barely even pronounce it.
Basically,
So
presented
Irish.
by the
Goddamn.
Singleton. The Singleton is an award-winning single malt that tastes great from the first sip. It's great neat
That's just
over
like
ice or mixed into a cocktail.
fairly
Perfect for
basic
someone
stuff
who's
over
new to
here.
Scotch. Today I'll
Yeah?
be mixing it up in a refreshing tasting
Very good,
cocktail
though.
to enjoy while you hang by the grill with friends. Let's get
I
down
don't
to
drink
basics.
anymore.
I'm talking about souvlaki. I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention to talking about the booze.
I do like watching cooking
Alright, so
videos.
today
though.
we're making
Yeah, even if you don't ever try the recipes yourself, there's something very soothing about it.
souvlaki. First thing we got to do is negotiate our meat. The most common candidates for which are pork and chicken. So I got myself a pair of pork tenderloins here that I'm going to disassemble
Tenderloin's a
down
good
into
option for
1
this.
inch pieces, and likewise with a few pounds of chicken
Easy to work
breasts.
with.
These are the most traditional meats used, but you could probably use whatever you want, as long as it doesn't taste bad. Once we
And
got everything
cheaper than
broken down
chicken,
into
at least
1 inch
around here.
cubes, it's time to marinate. Per 2 pounds
Chicken
of beef,
fluxes in
combine
prices
3
around
ounces
here,
of
from
olive
super
oil,
cheap
1
to
tablespoon
super
dried Greek
expensive.
oregano, 2 ounces of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of honey, a teaspoon of kosher
I think
salt,
why
half
this
a
is
teaspoon of freshly
therapeutic
ground black
is
pepper,
kind of like
plus
why cleaning is therapeutic. It's you're trying to structure something, and when you're doing something very meticulous and it takes time and effort and love, then it's something that makes you feel good, and it's therapeutic in that way because you're really doing something productive in a very human and caring way.
Yeah. Also, his voice is perfect for this. Like, he's got a very good speech.
That too. That also helps.
Plus 2 crushed and minced garlic cloves. The pastier the better, so you can see that I'm pressing and smearing my garlic, so there won't be any big chunks stuck to the outside of the meat, so it won't burn. Throw your meat in a food-safe container, pour the marinade over top, and give it a massage, ensuring even
massage.
deep penetration of flavors and tenderness. Then we're covering these guys up and fridging them for at least 1 hour, up to 12. In the meantime, we can optionally make the other stuff that goes on souvlaki. First, perhaps easiest, tzatziki sauce. We're starting by grating and lightly salting
love this
2
sauce.
cucumbers in the large holes of the box grater and squeezing them out, not only creating delicious cucumber juice, but some slightly more dry cucumbers, which we're going to combine with 1 cup of full-fat Greek yogurt, a tablespoon of red wine vinegar, 1 clove of garlic crushed, a quarter
Now,
cup
I've had
of
this
fresh dill,
sauce,
packed and chopped, about a half teaspoon each, of
was
kosher
alright.
salt, freshly ground black pepper, and 2 tablespoons of high-quality Greek olive oil. Go ahead and mix this up, perhaps in a slightly larger bowl, until it's the creamy, homogeneous sauce that Greek
I love
grains
this
are made
stuff.
of. Now, if you really want to go crazy, you can make your own pita. Now, I've got a batch of pizza dough here that I've had cold fermenting in the fridge for 3 days. If you don't want to make your own, you can grab a ball of pizza dough from your favorite grocer because pizza dough makes an excellent pita dough. I'm
Yeah.
starting by dividing it into 160-gram pieces that I'm going to roll into tight, taut little balls and place on a parchment-lined baking sheet for proofing, either under oiled plastic wrap or in a proofing drawer for 1 to 2 hours or until they've grown by about 50%. In the meanwhile, I've got a carbon steel skillet that I'm cutting a piece of parchment paper into a round just slightly larger than its bottom, and we're going to place this strange contraption over on the stovetop while we prep our dough. We're generously coating each piece on each side with semolina flour, then we're going to start by poking it repeatedly out to size as much as possible before beginning stretching. Then, slowly but surely, we can start stretching and pressing it out into about an 8-inch round. Go ahead and keep that and the other dough under a damp towel while we get ready to fry. We're placing the paper pan over medium-high heat with a squirt of water both underneath and over top the parchment paper along with a little squirt of neutral flavored oil. Go ahead and cover that, let it preheat for 1 to 2 minutes until
I could fall
everything's
asleep
golden,
watching
steamy, and
this.
smoky and ready to receive our round, which we're going to carefully lay
And
down
then wake up
flatly
hungry.
in the middle of the pan, making sure there are no creases or overlaps. Cover and cook for anywhere
Oh,
from
look
3
at
to
that.
5 minutes
That's nice.
until the edges become pale and flat and are starting to brown, kind of like a pancake. Give it a flip once
Yeah.
it's charred. Add a little squirt of water if necessary.
Now I
Cover,
want
reduce the heat to
pancakes.
medium, and finish cooking for another
I've got some
35 minutes on the
pancakes
second
in the
side.
fridge.
This should yield a warm, puffy, delicious charred pita.
We have
Be sure
them
to keep
tomorrow.
warm and help them retain moisture by covering with a clean dish towel and keeping them in a
All I
stack.
had was a
Rinse and repeat with the
ham
remaining
and
pita.
Swiss
And look
sandwich
at that, a steaming
earlier.
stack of homemade, fluffy, crispy pita. These obviously take a
Oh,
little bit of effort,
good.
but they're worlds better
Look
than
at
anything you're gonna
them.
get in the store. Now,
Right, yeah. You get halfway. You can get halfway decent pita at the store, or you can get really cheap, sort of chalky types. But those, oh, that looks more like naan bread almost. So nice looking.
Now, if you really want to go insane, you can make your own Greek-style French fries. You might notice them filling this pan with olive oil because we are going to deep fry our fries in
Well,
olive
it is
oil.
Greek,
You want to make
so-
sure to use light or non-extra virgin olive oil because we're heating
Although
this
that's
stuff
how
to
I do it
temperatures
with,
of 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
when I make
That's the
chips.
smoke point for extra virgin olive oil. We're also going to use some frozen store-bought fries, which are par-fried before they're frozen. So it's basically recreating the step that we would take to make fries at home. Now you'll notice that this first batch is way too crowded. This cools off the oil too much, preventing the fries from properly browning even during a protracted cooking time. As you can see, a batch with only half the fries I had frying in the last batch turn out browner, goldener, and crispier than their overcrowded brethren.
I did not know that. That's a good little trick. 'Cause,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So don't save the time if you can't live with the crime. You're right, that doesn't really make sense. Next up,
Also,
we're soaking
blanch your
our
fries.
wooden skewers for about 30 minutes in water. This is a debatably necessary step because the sticks still tend to burn, and science shows us that the water doesn't penetrate the wood very deeply in that amount of time. So, I don't know, maybe don't do this before beginning to skewer on your meats of choice. You want to leave about a 2-inch handle at the bottom and virtually no room at the top of the stick, so that they are at maximum meat capacity while still having a handy handle to manipulate the kebabs on the preheated grill, which is where we're headed. Just as soon as we're done
Maximum
making our
meat.
souvlaki spices, combining 1 teaspoon
Meat
of
stick.
salt, freshly ground black pepper, and garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of dried thyme, and 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. This is the spice mix that you can finish your souvlaki with, and make a sort of post-grilling lemon brush by combining half a cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice and a few generous pinches of our souvlaki spice mix. Now I've had my gas grill preheating on maximum heat for about 10 minutes. I'm going to give it a spirited brushing with a wire brush and lay down my souvlaki kebabs on where I know the hottest parts of my grill are. Shut that down, maybe drop the heat down to medium. If you're on a gas grill, keep it covered and grill about 3 to 5 minutes per side. These times and instructions can vary wildly thanks to about 1,000,000 factors, namely your grill. So the general idea is to get
I will say there's a lot of effort going on into this.
about 155 degrees Fahrenheit and the pork up to 145. Set those aside and keep them warm because finally we are brushing down our homemade pita with Greek olive oil and grilling it for about 1 or 2 minutes per side until they've got a deeper char and they're heated through. And with that, everything's cooked and we can start assembling our souvlaki. First we can give our meat that optional lemon and herb brush down that I was talking about. Then we're going to grab our pita, throw it down on a square of light gauge aluminum foil, give it a generous all-over spread of tzatziki. Then if you're a real souvlaki pro, you can use the bread to take the meat off the skewer. I obviously found it challenging, so you could also just take the meat off with a fork and throw it in the sandwich. Flank your meat of choice with some thinly sliced tomatoes, top it with some sliced red onion, a couple of whole parsley leaves if you want to be fancy about it, a handful of french fries, a gluggle of high quality Greek
Reminds
olive
me of a
oil,
gyro.
spice mixture, and
Kinda, yeah.
They're similar.
Homemade from scratch.
The French fries I've never
Wrap it up
seen
with
done
meeting 2
before.
corners of the square in the center and folding up the bottom of the foil, creating a sort of meaty, snacky Greek cornucopia. This is a positive.
God,
I might
I'm already starving.
I've also seen souvlaki used without the pita, like having it on rice and then like using the tzatziki sauce as a dip while you're eating. It's also a way that it gets done.
Had I told this story when I was on the street in New York. Every morning there was a Greek fast food truck that would help a lot of people like get their breakfast down them, and it always taunted me because everyone was so normal looking. There's these people getting ready to go to work, and here I was freezing from on the steps of a church. When I get there, if I see that truck, I'm gonna grab something to eat out of it. I don't even care.
Absolutely,
if
it
it's good
sounds
or not.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Also, since you mentioned gyros, the main difference between this and a gyro is really just the type of meat used.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the difference.
Now I'm hungry for gyros.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I've actually got a lot of things here. Let's see.
We've got a good delivery place here called Greek on Wheels that I like to get.
Awkward. Awkward. The dream is over. To the moon, baby. They're all
Don't
so
tell
evil.
Shabisky this.
Definitely tell Shabisky this.
Oh.
Go out of your way to tell Shabisky this.
Had claimed to the
Somebody link
first.
this article and just tweet it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, I'll post it in the chat and
Do it, Skep. Do it.
Yeah.
God.
There. Someone can do it. Just to get that, just to get that fucking blade and twist it nice and deep in between those ribs.
Oh my god, there's an ape coin. There's an ape coin now. Of course there is.
Absolutely. Also, did you see the documentary on for crypto? Apparently, there's a lot of alt-righters who like secretly use crypto as a sort of like a dog whistle. I don't know how 100% how much I agree with everything I saw in the documentary, but some interesting ideas.
I have more productive things to focus my time on than cryptocurrency.
Major crypto crash
in any sort of genre.
Yeah. We do like watching the the Bored Ape show just to be like, what the fuck is this?
That's because it's so bad.
It's just 90%
and
of them
Eminem
whining.
and Snoop Dogg recently did a collaboration, and in it they have their NFT ape characters. It's so dumb.
But following a major
Any word on episode 3 yet, by the way?
No, you'll be the first to know. Which is supposedly left Jake Paul broke. The restaurant now only accepts traditional dollars in exchange for its food, which I imagine it tastes like shit anyway. Following major, Ethereum and Ambo now are down 60%. Yeah,
we sell crypto burgers and crypto fries.
I bet
and
it's gonna be
crypto.
all that. Yeah.
So their food doesn't really exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'd be therefore not surprising, based on his point of view. Yeah, it dropped 60% of its net worth. Jesus Christ.
I like how they named their restaurant "Bored and Hungry," like implying that come to our restaurant, you'll be hungry because we don't have anything to feed you.
You'll be bored and hungry.
Yeah.
Restaurants co-founder taking to Twitter tonight. The restaurant has stopped accepting crypto, adjusting the crypto prices to match US dollars. Earlier this month, crypto market crashed with the biggest currency about 25% in the space of a week. It was followed by large global crypto exchange platform pausing all Bitcoin withdrawals for a few hours. That shows how stable your economy is. Massive market crashes. Also, pausing all Bitcoin withdrawals. The whole point of it was that it was meant to be over ignoring government oversight and any sort of like financial regulation, and that's them literally doing that. Like the whole crypto, it's fucking stupid. I can't believe I was seriously considering putting some money in towards it. Big respect to anyone who's made any money off it and got out as quickly as possible.
Wait a minute. Are you gonna say that to Shabisky? Because he's getting into crypto.
Very stupid of him, especially now.
He'll give you reasons as to why crypto is good. It's investing. Come on, you can invest in crypto. It's a serious
thing. Invest in something that's incredibly unstable.
Yeah, but that makes it more worth it, though, when you think about it.
Oh!
Not really.
Here's from this is the company that Magicus told us about. The Dayar Inshat, the one with the drive-through mall, the drive-through shopping center.
Oh yeah.
This is one of their other ones. It's called Flying Train.
Isn't that just called an airplane?
Shh! No, don't tell them.
Flying train.
It's an airplane that's tethered to the ground for some reason.
I love how the model it keeps showing it from different angles, but it still hasn't moved until now. Oh,
point.
God.
Why?
Why?
So wait a minute. It's a flying train in the sense that it's connected to a train, like
to a rail. Yeah.
So by that logic, the airplane, if it needs to maneuver in such a way, it won't be able to because it's attached to. What?
Yep.
Oh my God.
What the fuck? Look at the people for scale. This thing would be absolutely massive.
Oh, and even worse, what if the train at the bottom like has a snag and then it stops?
The plane will just
then it nosedives into the ground immediately.
Oh, Jesus.
It's so stupid. And what benefit does this give over either regular planes or regular trains? They just keep showing the same shot over and over again as well. They're not even talking about it. They're just showing the exact
a
same
7-minute loop of the same footage.
You would
Why?
think a flying train.
What? There. Perfect. What problem does this solve? Nothing. This was never something.
Exactly.
This was never something.
But wait a second. You know, for a fact, because of this capitalist American. Well, you don't live in America, but you know how America is with people inventing like useless crap. It's like, here, buy this new what's a good example?
There's got to be a better way.
Yeah, those stupid little ads.
I can't believe they invented this, which was a spoof of those things on The Simpsons.
Are you tired of using your freaking hand to stir a pot of like boiling water? Now there's a better way. Have this little machine do it for you, or
boil the bear and leave it overnight.
We invented a stick, so you don't have to stir your boiling soup with your bare hand in the pot.
This here is the most replayed part. I'm gonna mute it.
Holy shit, that plane's got a huge ass.
Look at it wiggle. Oh my god. The slightest bit of bad weather would fuck this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What?
And what happens when the little lines connecting it to the train like snap off? Like, what happens then?
The plane just flies off, but it can never land. So it'll just have to crash.
Actually, it'll go into a glide because the line appears to be its power source, I would assume. So
yeah,
the plane suddenly becomes unpowered.
What?
People are how do I say it? You are statistically less likely to die in a plane crash, how we have them now, than in a car crash.
Yeah.
So with this,
it's
not like it's adding more safety. It's not like it's adding a more safe. So there really is no point to this whatsoever.
Somebody please explain to me how this is supposed to be theoretically better than just a regular train.
Yeah, what benefit does this solve over a train or a plane? It doesn't.
It looks
cooler. What I want to say, though, what they get wrong ultimately is that when I think of a flying train, I just think of a train that just kind of levitates. I don't think of a plane connecting it to... That doesn't... They don't even understand what a flying train would look like or how it would be more interesting.
I basically just think of the train from Back to the Future 3.
Exactly, that's a flying train.
Yeah, this here is a flying train. Is it practical? Fuck no. Is it even doable? Probably not. It's magic, and that's okay.
It is not.
It is literally a time machine that also doubles up as a train and a house.
Which is a great idea. We can all agree.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at this thing. That's a flying train. I'm not going to get copyrighted. Look at the
ass. For a flying train to work, you would have to have not just the front of it have a levitating power. You would have to have every single part of that train, every single what are they called? The bed. Every bed of that train also have a levitating power of its own, so it doesn't all go flying in different directions. Jesus.
The train itself, has a very fat dumpy, and it's very, very, very wiggly. Look at the way it kind of swerves like it's drunk. It's so impractical. You think I would have given a fuck? No. Same reason I wanted jetpack. Is it practical? No. Do I want one? Yes. Would I want to get on that flying train thing from Dehar Insula, or how to pronounce it? No, you couldn't pay me. It'll burn. We'll all die. If they ever made this, you would die.
It's simpler to say we, as humans, we just want to fly. We want to find a way to fly in such a way where it's just the human body levitating, but we can't find anything really realistic enough, so we got to come up with more absurd ways to try to make something new.
True. By the way, Lev, your mispronunciation has given me a great idea.
Yeah.
We can fight back against PragerU with the Dayhart Institute.
Wait, who mispronounced PragerU or who mispronounced?
No, I did.
No, he was trying to say these people's name.
Oh, okay.
This
What is
is
Scroll down.
This is Dayhart
The Here Instat.
Yeah.
The Dahir Institute.
Okay.
This is something that's going to be a tragedy if they ever make this. It's a nuclear-powered flying hotel that can stay airborne for years. This is going to be the next Hindenburg.
Or the next
Titanic.
Fortress of the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, fucking Pridwin coming in. Yeah.
Yeah.
People of the Commonwealth, do not interfere. Our intentions are peaceful. Launching fucking death robots everywhere. God, that was a great entrance.
They had to fight back against the other death robots that were already there.
Yeah, very true. You could trust us. We're here in our battle fortress and our army of cyborg warriors. Sky Cruise could carry up 5,000 passengers. It would be piloted entirely by an AI. Oh no!
Good idea.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Not trusting that whatsoever.
Look at this. You actually have to land on a different plane. The different plane takes you up to it, and then you basically go through this tube, and it gets you into the hotel. Like,
Yeah, because that's what we need. What we need is a plane.
What if it pilots as well as Dolly paints?
Ooh, that would be terrifying, but somehow it would work.
But what we need apparently is a flying hotel controlled by HAL 9000. Yes, that is exactly what we need.
I mean, I can't believe he didn't go for the more obvious reference of Skynet.
Well, because with this one, well, they're both. It's a combination of HAL 9000 and Skynet.
But it's literally in the sky.
Bring us down, Hal. We don't want to be up here anymore.
I don't think so, Dave.
Well, anyway, you don't want to go down there anymore. Why? You see all these mushroom clouds start forming. Don't worry, I'll keep you all safe. I'll keep you all safe forever.
No. You don't want to go down there anymore. Why? Shows you a picture of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, actually, I think I'll have another dip in the pool. That doesn't sound so bad.
You know what, Hal? You make a compelling point.
The twist is Hal's actually kind of good. No, this is
Talk about voting for the lesser evil, right?
Right.
Well, then at that point, all the people that are on the plane are just going to end up fighting with each other about stuff. And it's like, fuck, we even hate each other up here.
This is gonna turn into BioShock, isn't it?
Yeah. Ooh, that could be the next BioShock. Oh, we already did one on the sky. I think the next BioShock in a way is gonna be set in like an ice place, like the Arctic, which maybe.
Sounds like a boring setting.
Yeah. They've kind of run out.
Do with it, though.
Yeah.
There'll be some interesting underwater and in cave stuff that they might do.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. The real question is, are they going to talk about the same level of like heavy topics when it comes down to like economies and like the role?
I mean, hopefully something similarly heavy, but not the same exact topic.
No. Okay, let's see. Pro-abortion protester grabs Bible and plays soccer with it. Neat.
I like these people.
Yay! Nothing gets changed, but, you know, they're not putting up with shit that they don't need to put up with. Yay!
I mean, they probably can't change anything, so they're only doing what they can, right?
Right? It's very human answer.
Dude, she's not gonna do that. She is not gonna do that.
He is not.
Threw it in the toilet.
That right there is a hate crime.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Wait, what happened?
Threw the Bible in the toilet.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Where it belongs.
Well.
Yeah. I do think it's a bit petty, but at this point, pettiness might be all that we can really do.
Petty is what the other side's doing too.
My
so
problem
why not join
is
the club, I guess.
if you're out giving out Bibles, it's like, if I really want a Bible, I'll just go buy one. I'm not gonna get one from some street handler. They're probably
Does it
not
matter
gonna.
where you get it?
Well, I'm a big reader, so I like reading stuff, and the Bible's one of my favorite literary works.
How does it change my question?
Hmm?
How does it change my question? What does it matter where it came from?
Oh, it does. Well, that's not really an issue with me. I just like reading it.
I mean, it's quite the work of fantasy.
Yeah, it's fiction. Well, a little bit of history thrown in, so it's kind of like urban fantasy, you know, like.
Well, I mean, it's mythology. It's just
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mythology. It's fiction. It has some historical people like King David and King Solomon probably did exist, but not Moses or Adam.
Augustus is
or any of those
is
people.
mentioned in it as Caesar, so he existed. I think Alexander is mentioned, but he's not called Alexander because he would have had to be mentioned, as he didn't sack Jerusalem, but he did conquer it.
We know Augustus exists. He's hanging out in chat right now.
Hi, Augustus.
Alexander was partly one of the reasons as to why the ancient Israelites were freed from the Babylonians, the Babylonian exile, because it was the Hellenistic. When Alexander the Great was freaking Hellenizing everything, it's like you're all going to become Greek and part of the Roman Empire.
Well, Greek first, Roman Empire second, with the Diadochi in between for good measure. Alright, context is simple. Reproductive rights organizer and state senate candidate last night after speaking at a Roe rally, my Republican opponent, a police officer, violently attacked me.
Does anybody else look at this story and wonder what century we're in right now?
Time is an abstract and fictitious object. It might as well be
It's become very wibbly wobbly recently.
It has. Here, let's pick this. Let's see what this is. No contact Brits. Save us, Brit bongers! This is. Why can't we just all do this?
Metalheads dancing to this music is great.
Reach up for the stars.
This is so metal.
This is what the meetup in January is going to be like. Only with way more bigger beards, like way bigger beards. This I found interesting. This was from the year I was born. It was also the 1,000-year celebration of the founding of Dublin. So this is people on the streets of Dublin just having their opinions on it.
Do you think it makes any difference to Dublin that it's the millennium this year?
No, I can't say it, and I don't think anyone else does.
I think that's Mary Street. To this day, you can still go and get all fresh fruits and vegetables. And they're like, so what do you think about it?
It's sort of bringing Dublin back to life again. And I think everything looks much brighter and cheerful and all. I think it's wicked.
Bringing it back to life, says the person with no life in her.
Mm-hmm.
Are they talking about Bloomsday?
No, they're talking. It's not that complicated. They're celebrating the 1,000-year anniversary of the city.
No, Bloomsday is the anniversary of James Joyce's Ulysses.
Yeah, I've done it. I've actually been in Dublin for Bloomsday. Didn't plan for it, but they were all dressed up like that. But no, this is. I don't know what they did. I don't think they did anything special, but obviously I was a few months old at the time, and I wasn't even in the country, so.
Without spending thousands and millions of pounds on.
And every other city has had their celebrations of foundation, so it's great to have the capital of Ireland, and we hope that we get plenty of tourists.
I tell you, it'd be better to bury that south half of the government. That's what they'd want to do.
The most average Irish woman.
In any of the celebrations?
No.
Do you care about them?
No, not really.
Marvellous. It's a great idea, I think, to get all the Dublin people together, have a good celebration and make the best of it.
What is a million?
Also laid back.
What about Christmas time? What about Easter time that the people haven't got the money? No, it's aluminium. Ah, get away.
I love Dublin. I'm proud to be a Dublin man. But I'd love to see brought back the joviality, the gaiety that was in my time. But I can't see that coming back now.
The Celtic Tiger was not quite around the corner. It was like 1 or 2 years away, the rebirth, so everyone was poor as fuck. Then the 90s came around and everyone was making a fortune until the recession happened, and then we all realized, uh-oh, I think maybe we were lying about how much Ireland was worth. We're all kind of fucked now. And now it's back to like that, only not as well dressed. All those big coats. You don't see people walking around with those big coats anymore. Here, now this was fun. This is a fan-made trailer for the reboot of Frasier, which is really
to talk to you about
like actually coming.
Daphne?
It's about your brother.
Daphne.
She's pretty great.
Resurrected you from the ashes. Those people would have killed you.
She's always been a cutie.
With interest.
Daphne
I like how they're doing this all dramatic. Is this like a Mad Men parody or something?
Yeah, it's like the joke I think being that Frasier is a Frasier in this version is Niles' serial killer brother. You know. Marty, Roz.
Very disappointed.
Never
more
watched
Daphne.
Frasier.
Never watched it?
I never watched Frasier. No.
It was for a while the smartest show on TV, but that turned a lot of people off. Some people thought it was like boring or smug. But I don't know. I really liked it.
It was smug, but like playfully smug as the joke.
Yeah. Anytime someone got super like ridiculously high level of like posh, something funny would go around to like bring them down to size, and that was usually Frasier himself. He had the biggest fucking ego.
If you don't bring me back what I want, then you won't have anything to come back to. You're dead.
Yeah.
Your families are all dead. You and everyone you ever met.
Fucking Eddie back there. Well, how old would Eddie be now in dog years? Like
Look at that
3.
mouth.
I don't want to
Have
play
be a new dog, right?
Yeah, Eddie 2, like Snowball 2.
What if it was the same dog's like kid?
Well, let's see.
Frasier has left the building.
Now, my favorite show is Gilligan's Island.
Wow, I haven't thought of that show in a while.
Gilligan's Survivor.
Creepy mask Gimp Man returns to terrorize quiet UK village. I love how
Does he terrorize them by walking around and minding his own business?
I think so. Bingo card. They're allowed to feel pretty smug right now, maybe slightly scared. A masked menace in latex bodysuit is seemingly returned to terrorize the people of Claverham and Yatton. 2 villages! Jesus. Recent years there have been a number of sightings of the quiet village of a masked man dressed in a gimp suit loitering menacingly. Police have searched several times for him, even using helicopters and sniffer dogs.
So it's just an IRL troll, just kind of doing this to intentionally make people be like, "Why is that guy walking around in a latex suit?" Ugh,
You guys remember
what's he
years ago
doing?
there was all
The clown.
the clown people? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that exact same thing. To the point where like regular like clowns, like their jobs to do it, would get attacked. Like someone got attacked and just like, "You like hanging around kids, huh?" And he's like, "I'm a clown. I have to hang around kids. Like I'm a party clown." A teacher assistant and his boyfriend had a run-in with the man who fits the description. Walking home 1 a.m. after the sketch. He's just skimping around. That's all he's doing. He's just skimping around. Leave him be. They reached the title of the Cleveland Road roundabout. Her boyfriend suddenly noticed someone had said, "There's a man." Okay. Masked
Why
man
can't you be
later.
more like him?
Remember him standing with his legs apart and his arms outstretched, like he was proud, wanting her to remember the encounter. Motherfucking with his T-posing at her. She said, "I'm still really shaking up ahead and walking." What? You saw a man in a gimp suit and now you're all shook up. Oh, honey, you wouldn't last 10 minutes on some of the porn sites I've been to. Image ahead walking toward. I dread to think what would have happened had I been on my own. Oh, for God's sake.
Either that or those porn sites would really open her eyes and change her life.
She's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you could do all those things with a cucumber." Describes the most terrifying experience of her life. Boyfriend came home to get away from the stranger. Jesus Christ. Police searched the area but found no trace of the man, who was described 6 foot tall and slim with extra Jesus, I wonder if he's on Grindr. The statement.
Guaranteed.
So, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a little bit of a famous person around where I live. According to BBC, past people local area have set up a group so they can walk. There's his own vigilante group. Jesus. Called the police when they spot a strange man watching them through their window. Okay, that's creepy. When a man in a gimp suit charged at her before running off. Indecency, the gimp man encounter. The gimp man encounter.
The Gimp Man encounter of 2022.
Should be like Unexplained Mysteries. Tonight, we look at the Gimp Man.
The newest urban cryptid.
Yeah,
People will do anything. Groups of people will do anything out of fear. I mean,
Here's the best
point of
thing.
us humans.
That gimp suit, there's nobody in there. It's actually just an empty, haunted gimp suit.
Okay, now
I like
would
that.
Yeah, that would be
That would be
cool.
awesome.
That would also make it that would be genuine. Now you could be scared, you know. We know this lady.
Mate, I happen to notice that you're carrying a notebook.
I don't know this lady.
She's a stand-up comedian.
That's your loss.
Yeah, stand-up comedian out of the UK. We sometimes look at her stuff. Did Kenneth Graham get the idea of Wind in the Willows from a drunk guy in the pub?
You don't happen to be an author, do you? And if so, do you want to hear my idea? It's about a mole and a rat. And, let's say a fucking badger as well. Why not? Why a toad? But the toad is rich, okay? It's a fancy toad. I'm not talking one of your pond toads. No, this guy's got fucking tweed. But they all talk as well. It's a shy mole, a fun rat, a grumpy badger, and a toad that's just an arsehole. The toad is obsessed with cars. No, listen, it's a metaphor for the industrialisation of the British countryside. And the weasels are the bad guys. Because who fucking trusts a weasel, am I right?
Aw, the weasel.
They're fucking weasels.
Pan, you ken Pan? From Greek, Pan. He should be in it. Just for a laugh.
Some fucking reason.
And then at the end, there's a massive fight between the mole and the weasels and the badger and the toad. Let's fucking throw a fox in there, why not? And they're all just, they've got guns. Animals, a badger with a gun. And he's gone fucking mental. They are. It's a sort of comment on class. Oh, because the toad's posh. Did I say that? It's a posh fucking toad. Upper class toad, right? So, self-explanatory. And you should call it a fucking the nice tree or something like that. The lovely oak or some shite.
She does a good job of pretending to be drunk.
Yeah, she's probably had lots of experience of people talking to her like that. As she says it, it does kind of make me think that, God, that whole storyline was weird as fuck.
Wind in the Willows is a really good children's fiction, though. It's very important.
Very much. Now, have you been following the Ezra Miller stuff?
Not even slightly.
He has been.
I don't even know who that is, to be honest.
The Flash from the DC shows.
That's why I don't know him, because I don't follow DC Universe stuff.
He was attacking people. His house was full of guns. He kidnapped a teenager. Like, he's just been fucking losing his mind. Here, Ezra Miller accused of harassing women in Germany and Iceland, choking victim. He was choking a woman in Iceland. And
See, he's better at playing the Joker than Jared Leto.
That's not hard. I think you'd be better playing the Joker.
Anybody can be better at Joker.
Anyway, I actually like this.
You do if I told you that in one universe, you're just as big of a menace as I am. You'd be lying. That would never happen, Thawne. Well, you should buckle up, Flash, because I'm about to tell you the story about Ezra Miller. Tell me, what's one of the most peaceful islands on this earth you can think of? What does this have to do with anything? Think, Barry. Hawaii. Imagine taking a vacation to that beautiful island, only to get arrested over and over for committing multiple crimes among the islanders. Splitting a woman's head open with a thrown chair, breaking into a family's home and threatening to slaughter them after stealing from them, attacking a man while he was playing darts in a bar, lunging at a woman in that same bar during karaoke while she was singing Lady Gaga. Hell, the guy even got arrested while he was wearing the Flash ring. He even told the officer that referring to him as Sir was a hate crime. Thawne, nearly everything you've said so far sounds like some shit you'd be responsible for. Here's the funny part, Barry. You did all that shit. I just sat back and watched in disbelief. You're lying. I would never harm the innocent. Oh, you did worse than that, Barry. Worse? It gets fucking worse? Imagine grooming a child since she was 12 years old, then proceeding to kidnap her after she turned 18. What the fuck? You can't be serious. Thawne, why are you laughing? I'm laughing because it was you, Barry. You kidnapped that child after exposing yourself as a pedophile. All this time we thought you were the Flash, but in reality, you're Deathstroke. You even posted memes on your
In
Instagram
reality, you
account
were flashing.
telling the authorities that you're in another universe.
Yeah, he said the random pictures like, you can't catch me.
And that they'd never find you. That's low, even for me. Your multiversal counterpart isn't even doing this out of pettiness. He's just fucking insane. Yeah, he's acting like you. No, he's acting like A-Train. So tell me, now who's the villain, Flash? Now who's the villain?
Baby, let me...
Oh god, the way they were describing Ezra's story, it was almost like he was this unstoppable force of evil that everyone was powerless to like do anything about. Ezra Miller strikes again. You know, like...
I mean, just look at these pictures of him. Does he even look like somebody who's stable?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't.
I mean, at some point, maybe some people could have said the same for John Wayne Gacy or or Ted Bundy or someone. They're like, hey, he looks okay. He doesn't look too bad. But then it's like, oh crap, look at the shit he did.
Well, Ted Bundy was considered very charming and good looking by a lot of women. So
not only that, but
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying he looks very unstable.
I know. I'm just.
You know who he does remind me of? Do you remember that that porn star who killed and ate that other porn star in Canada?
No.
That was like 2 or 3 years ago. He was he did like a lot of gay porn and such, and he just started like, saying the most racist stuff he could, and then he made a porn with her, and then he killed and he started to eat her. Like yeah, he looks very similar to that guy.
Big shock.
All right, let's oh god, oh yeah, a little bit of upbeat now. Daily dose of internet.
Yay!
Daily dose of internet.
Give us the news on ECon.
Good, good reality, Onision.
Hello, everyone. This is your daily dose of internet.
As you can see here, we are
So wait, which Onision has the goatee?
Intriguing.
each of which a teacher
Whee!
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was a hard hit, but I spoke with the student, and she told me that she was okay, and she didn't drink enough water.
Oh, dehydration pass out.
This person has muscle control
Whoa!
that is so good that it's kind of creepy.
That can't be. Oh, that
Sir,
can't be.
I'm gonna need you to calm your tits, sir.
It looks like in an old movie where a guy would like be in drag and something would go wrong with their boobs and like half their boobs would be all over the place and they'd try to quickly reset them.
She's kind of mean, so I'd just be careful.
Hi there.
Uh-oh.
What a friendly cat.
Oh, she's not. Oh, so sorry about that. Oh my god.
Normally, tornado sirens sound scary, but this time the sirens synced up and harmonized to create this beautiful sound.
Seriously, this is crazy.
That does sound nice.
Someone
Heavens are
recorded
opening
lightning
up.
hitting the
Perfect.
same pole over 11 times in a row.
Whoa!
What?
Let the camera guy
Oh, you got
slow.
a superhero.
It's
Quick, where's Barry? Where's Barry?
He's the Flash.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, he's over there kicking that puppy. Oh, not you, Ezra, the real Flash. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh, that looked like it would hurt. Did you do that, you little bastard?
Hell.
Aww.
Kitty.
Where did the water go?
Only move one coin.
Kitties
and
are
make
my
it say
favorite.
1, 2, 3, 4 the opposite way.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
It's like the easiest thing you'll ever see.
1, 2.
In between the 1 and 2.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
This is how excavators cross the road without destroying it.
That's smart.
That is the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon.
Oh god, that thing moves like a cave cricket. I hate
Like
those things.
the screaming demon in Smiling Friends.
Never watched that.
Surprisingly good show. Mr. Frog is one of my favorite characters.
Forbidden Noodles.
Forbidden Noodles.
Oh, and this is your daily dose of internet. I found this guy that likes to collect these forbidden rock noodles. These things are actually the inner fossilized molds of snail shells.
Yeah.
The snail shells look like this, but they get full of sediment and then fossilize. The shell then breaks away, leaving these rock noodles.
That's cool.
This guy found a helpful technique to get that last little bit of ketchup.
Guy hit him with the twister.
Oh, centrifuge it.
Makes
This
sense.
guy was late to class, and the professor tried to catch him off guard by asking him what the correct answer was for this equation.
You, sir, what are you solving? Alright. That's a good guess, because it's correct. Solving for RS. How'd you know that?
This kid seems to be having the best day of his life.
I'm playing Fortnite, dude. I got my pizza rolls are ready. I got a new girlfriend. She's amazing right now. I'm seeing her gold.
Back in 2011,
Damn, that kid's living the best life.
a massive tsunami devastated
Except for the
Japan.
Fortnite part.
The Japanese Coast Guard captured this
He's young. He's bound to make some mistakes.
Video of their ship going over that same tsunami that was headed for Japan.
Oh shit! Like the perfect storm. Whoa!
This super brave dog defended
Damn.
these children from an evil vacuum.
I'm not gonna hurt them. Stop.
And their dog was smart enough to use a couch cushion as a shield.
Wow. Are you serious?
Here's a Google Earth time lapse showing how the coastline of Dubai has changed over the past 30 years.
Ugh, look at those pieces of shit of islands that they made.
Yeah.
I found a gym bro that has mastered physics.
What the
That is
fuck?
the end of this video.
That
I hope
is
you enjoyed, and I'll see you
incredibly
guys again
impressive.
very soon. Later.
Later.
God damn.
Alright, one more because they're super
That guy wins.
short. Yeah.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet. A customer made fun of this guy after finding out that he has to stay late for work.
Did you get up? 9. What about like 5 hours and go to the crib in the AC where I can lay down, kick my feet up, and play the game? You said you were going anywhere. What the?
This person had a construction crew working on something in her yard when they got a little too close.
Kitty.
Oh, fuck!
No.
Poor kitty.
Bonk! Boink! Whoa!
Get ready to see
Nice.
more and more of these things driving on the road.
Oh, we watched these. Do you remember when Naira was on? The self-driving trucks.
In the USA. The US government just gave the green light to allow these autonomous self-driving cargo trucks to freely move around on roads.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about self-driving cars.
There's a lot of room for accidents.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name and occupation? Carl. If I can guess the first letter of your name, I get your watch.
Carl's your occupation?
First letter of my name? Yeah, I get your watch. You wanna do it? Yeah. Is it C? Huh? Is it C? Nope. It's not? It's definitely It's not C? What made you say C though? I thought your name was Carl. Where did you get that?
This guy found a squirrel that was stuck
Sorry, did I just have a brain fart? I couldn't follow like 90% of that.
That was weird.
in his pool, so he saved it. You can see how
Aw.
exhausted the squirrel was because he basically immediately falls asleep.
Dude, good lord. Are you okay? You do not look
Aw, sleepy boy.
Are you gonna live? Oh yeah, I'm good.
Cute.
See it disappear, ready?
What?
The police came to
The fuck was that? What the fuck?
What
Whoa,
was
whoa,
that?
whoa, 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 whoa! We gotta watch that again. Little tiny baby arm comes out. What the fuck? Ah!
It's some type of toy he has. He's moving
Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
fingers on his left
That's
hand.
The
so
police
creepy
came to
though.
arrest this guy hiding
Yeah.
in a hotel room, but he had other plans instead.
You just keep putting your don't tense up, man. Don't tense up, man. Where are you going?
Woo!
What?
Georgia, say hi. Hi.
In case you didn't know, airline pilots need to be careful about using polarized sunglasses.
Yeah.
Take them off. Take those off.
That is the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again very,
Very soon.
Later.
All
I
right.
love corgis.
Such grace.
It's our time to shine with the master of all things snozages. Sausage. Or of the ordinary type. Or ordinary sausage. Guys, if you've been enjoying this stream, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the links in the doobly-doo for Discord, Twitter, Krendar's all-in-one. Origin, I actually forgot to put your stuff in, so I'm going to do that after the stream.
Oh, you're good.
And don't forget to also check out. Well, we have a stream goal. Anything given, greatly appreciated. There's a lot going on. He's been busy.
Okay, I need to see milk spaghetti and either oyster or cheddar jalapeno.
Yeah, I think we can agree we can avoid the tongue sausage. Wouldn't even be that weird looking probably.
That's really just meat.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, we'll start with the milk spaghetti.
Still
I don't know
rice?
why, but this is like the most requested NSC. We're doing milk spaghetti. He's
Most
going
requested
the
non-sausage
distance.
episode.
He's going for speed.
I like how he's
A
making
nice
fun of
thick layer of skin
NSP
has formed. That's gross.
or NFT.
God.
Sorry.
Oh God. Crack these noodles and guess what? We'll crack it again. Trying to tell me
That's
what
what I
to
do.
on my own channel. I'll show you.
Damn fucking right. Just because right now every Italian is suddenly going, no, the pasta. I don't do that with the pasta. You know, like
that's a better reason to do it.
Exactly. Right now, Shion Head's on the ground is having a seizure, and she doesn't know why.
It always drives me nuts when you see those. You know, they're showing you how to cook pasta, and they just put it in whole and then like let it soften and slide in. And it's
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be unevenly cooked. Like one side's gonna be soggy, the other side's gonna be still hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-oh. It stuck to the bottom.
This is going to be very creamy.
Black pepper or something on it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
5 out of 5. Bop, bop, bop,
bop, bop. Just gonna make
grill some chicken, and now you've got chicken linguine.
Damn right. Okay, so oysters.
I am after this. I am morbidly curious about Skittle rice.
Yeah, we should. It's only a minute anyway.
Folks, and
Yeah.
welcome back.
I guess.
Oysters, the something of the sea. Yes, these smell
The snot.
as fresh as you know, they stink. You don't open them from the front. That's actually a really difficult way to do it. Instead, take it from behind, and you just kind of crowbar it up. And there it is. There we go. You can just slop this bad boy home, but we're not gonna do that today. Today we're gonna throw these into a sausage. Looks like I hocked a loogie in there.
Ugh. Oysters, mussels, clams, they're all nice tasting, but they don't look nice.
All right, last one.
Oh God, don't do that with the knife towards your hand. Like,
well, let's be honest. When he's doing that, every direction is towards his hand.
We got our
it was a lose-lose scenario.
Yeah.
You might want to put those things through a strainer as well.
We're gonna marry the
Or
pork
not.
to the oysters.
Ugh.
Oh,
Surf and turf.
It's coming out the front.
Yeah, you were right. Oh God.
Welcome to the ASMR stream.
Let's fix this all with a little seasoning. We'll hit it with some salt, pepper, and Worcestershire sauce.
Ah.
All right, it actually smells pretty good now.
Oh, good.
Don't fear the sausage, nor do the wind or the sun or the rain.
More like Worcestershire sauce, am I right?
It's beyond possible.
Mm.
Oh man! In 3, 2, 1, let sausage.
There we go.
It's a
Oh.
horrible sign.
Immediate burst.
Okay,
This is making me nauseous.
Back on track here. All right.
I made you hungry early. Now I'm making you unhungry.
Oh God.
Well, I guess that's the end of the road. Well, all right, we got 2 chances of bursting here. With special thanks to today's Mark Boxalo box artist, this guy. This Will It Blow is brought.
No, it's not. It's not brought by anything.
Is this guy a troll or what?
Nope.
No, he is a very successful YouTuber. Probably a butcher.
He's gonna eat this thing at the end.
Yep.
Oh, please don't. I don't want to hear it. It's gonna make me
bad.
gag.
Click the link below or go to helixsleep.com/ordinary sausage and get up to $200
I do think that his like real life job is something like butcher or in a deli or something like that because he's got all the tools. Or maybe he worked there at
That
some
doesn't
point.
prove anything.
No.
Your Helix mattress. Bulbasaur, I choose you! You know, it slid out pretty easily. You know, not a very
She said.
spectacular Will It Blow. So I'm gonna have to give that Will It Blow 2 Mark Ruffalos!
Well, come on, that was at least a 3.
Okay, here we go!
It's gonna burst.
Oh my god.
Yep.
This is the moment when you say, "Oh my god," when he's cooking it.
It looked when he threw it on the thing and the little cords like wiggled. It looked like a freaking placenta or something.
Oh yeah.
Give
That always
him,
happens.
Oh my
give him
God.
time. He'll make a placenta sausage.
I think that's as
Oh,
cooked
Jesus.
as they're gonna get. It smells like a Red Lobster dumpster.
When he has
in
his
here,
first kid with his
also
wife?
known as the Admiral's Feast. All right, let's open up.
Mrs. Sausage was against the idea of keeping it.
I guess that's what's gonna happen now that Roe v. Wade has been
little turds
overturned.
No, it's gonna be
See
this
how
is
we
Mrs. Sausage's idea, not mine.
I'm having some regrets about this sausage. This end has less of a rat tail on it. Here we go. It's not good. It's not good at all. It tastes like expired pork through and through. The texture's half cooked, half slop. The skin did not crisp in the slightest. It's
Really?
as loose
Because-
and gummy as you can possibly get. Not exactly what I would call good sausage.
It looks like
and
if I had to say what it looked like a rat's intestine swollen in a puddle of water for a few days.
and nothing
Delicious.
else. I'm gonna have to give this sausage here a 1 out of 5.
He's had worse.
Why does he sound so much like Creationist Cat? What is the deal there? Like, hey there, sodomites.
Because they're both from New York, see?
Today we're making Skittle rice. For far too long, scientists have ignored this important question. 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, half of it going over the side, and like half a bag of Skittles. Skittle rice.
Why?
Skittle rice.
Origin almost had a seizure just then.
I don't blame him.
Let's give it a pinch of salt.
Oh yeah, that'll save it.
Let's see how we did. It looks good. It looks like Zatarain.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
What?
love a nice big pot of Zatarain's rice?
It's just gonna be sweet rice. That's all it's gonna taste like.
Let's add a little garnish.
It's not even gonna be sweet. It's gonna be.
Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, let's
Nice garnish.
try a bite of this and give our final results. Here we go. This rice tastes like Skittles. It's where we were successful in our
Shock.
endeavor. It doesn't taste a little bit like Skittles. It tastes entirely like Skittles. It's truly an abomination. Well, execution-wise, it's a 5 out of 5. Flavor-wise, it's a total dud. It's rice that tastes like Skittles is something that I've only just recently found out does not need to exist. And for that reason alone, I'll give this a 1
Well,
out of
congratulations,
5.
you just made it exist.
Yeah. Now that M&M's. What can I say except that you never know what's going to be at the end of a road unless you walk down it. So he's now smarter for doing it. All right, we'll do this, and then I think that will
Or at
be
least wiser.
Yeah.
I bet this one is probably going to be delicious.
I'd say
I
so.
guess. And you may be saying, Mr. Sausage, that seems like a pretty standard sausage for you to be making. Not the way I'm gonna make it. Starting with this block of frozen cheddar. If you're looking for low effort, then look no.
You could have said low energy. You could have said low energy. You didn't. You got my hopes up.
You missed. You really missed out on the collab there.
I get him. I get him done for plagiarizing.
Is this gonna be just cheddar and jalapeno with no pork?
I think maybe he's just doing it first, and he's trying to see if this is going to. No, there's the pork
Well,
right there.
he said he's gonna do it in a weird way.
I think he was just using the.
Oh my God,
no!
The cheese blocked the grinder. Of all the things that has clogged the grinder, a frozen
'Cause
block
it's
of cheese,
cheese.
I never would have expected. Perhaps some jalapenos
What do you mean?
I would have.
to send this cheese on its way.
You just make. Oh! Actually fixed it.
The weird thing is it worked.
Yeah!
Now we're just gonna add some pork to balance out that flavor.
Okay.
Oh, my knife.
Oh, Jesus. One of these days, Mrs. Sausage is going to hear from the basement, oh, God, the blood's everywhere.
Oh
I
gosh,
think he's
the
already
blood's
missing
in
it,
it
though.
now.
It actually improves the flavor. It looks like Play-Doh, and not the metaphor. It looks like actual Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. This looks like what comes out of a goose. Transfer to a somewhat larger bowl. And to add to our flavor profile,
It looks
we have
like
salt
eggs,
and
kind
his,
of.
his possible
That was a lot of
pepper.
a lot of salt.
Oh, he is not having high hopes for
Some
this.
hydration so it comes out of the tube. Oh, baby, my heart is full of sausage and dessert for you.
He is so cruel to his tools.
3, 2, 1. Let's sausage.
Well, at least it didn't burst as quickly.
I hate that
Also, I don't like the
noise.
way he.
Oh my God.
I don't like the way at the end how he eats
And
the
we
sausage
have
off of the
reached
same
the end
cutting
of the
board that he cut
sausage.
the
Mamma mia, that's
pork
a
on.
bit-
Yeah, I have to admit, like that thing. I'm
Like,
sure he washes it, but
I just
doesn't look
can't
like he
stand that
does.
sound when it comes
Yeah,
out. It just.
in the last one, the cutting board still had oyster slime on it at the end.
you
Like,
think that if you put black
do you
light
not
on
own a
it-
plate? Do you
Yeah.
not own a plate,
Big
guy?
spicy sausage.
I'm sure he
That's
washes it
a whole
after
lot
the
of
episode's
sausage.
done, but he
Hey,
doesn't
Mrs.
wash it
Sausage,
during
you
the
want some
episode.
of this? Don't gotta be a jerk about it. With special thanks to today's low effort Nerf box of low
Dolly.
this guy.
Wait, hold on,
So-
pause it. What does it say? What was the entry that this person put in? I can't read it.
Mark Ruffalo cooking sausages.
It's so meta. I love it.
This guy. So well.
Oh no, they had a Welsh flag in their profile. No, I hate it. I hate it on principle.
Like blow.
Oh!
It looks like a three-way tie between the middle,
Saved at the
the
end.
right, and the bottom. Not a whole lot of spread going on.
Oh, that's on top of the
So I'm
sausage.
gonna have to give that, will it blow? 2 Mark Ruffalos. Okay, here we go.
Oh no.
It looks like a giant turd.
That's probably good enough. Let's get it
Now
out
it looks like one of those giant earthworms you get in Africa and some tribes eat.
of the
Oh.
pan.
It looks like a big ass turd.
Well, all right. Let's open it up and see how.
Isn't that what
it's
sausages
did.
are, though?
Meat
Looks,
turd. Easy.
Oh my
looks
God.
interesting. What else can be said?
I don't know
Here
why there
we
was so much liquid in this one.
Okay, a couple of things here. This tastes exactly like a Philly cheesesteak Hot Pocket.
Okay.
Exactly like a Philly cheesesteak Hot Pocket. So that's a little concerning. Second of all, the casing is nonsense. The casing is so gummy. It's not the best tasting sausage ever made, but it's
I could tell
certainly
that by
better than
looking
some of
at
the
it.
other stuff we've made. But as it stands now, I'm gonna have to give this sausage here a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, he's had
I think it was
far
because of all
worse.
the. It was because of all the liquid. It essentially got boiled instead of seared.
You're as cold as ice.
I think the skin would have cooked better,
Sacrifice.
and you probably would have got a bit more flavor out of it if it hadn't gotten so wet for some reason.
I'll tell you now, one of these days, we're just not going to hear about him, and it's going to be him, someone on his Twitter saying he died of like salmonella poisoning or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it just, although he probably also, as a result, has a really strong immune system for that shit.
Probably. Although I was thinking, the thing he did with the Skittles rice, while that was a horrible abomination, the idea of adding something extra to your rice while you're cooking it can be a good idea. Like that's basically how you make biryani. You just cook your rice as normal, but then you put your spices into the water.
What he's gonna do next is a tomato with what's that word? That German food. The really gross stuff.
Sauerkraut.
Yeah, sauerkraut with tomato sausage. That would be horrifying.
You take that shit back right now.
Oh yeah, he's a big,
I can't stand sauerkraut.
He's a big sour stan. Me, I'm indifferent. Either way.
There is a lot of bad sauerkraut in the world, though, to be fair. But good sauerkraut is amazing.
I actually, a second this is done, I think I'm just gonna crawl into bed. I'm still feeling so bloated from my meals.
Hang on, scroll down. What's this Kingdom Hearts song he's got here?
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Dude, no, come on, Aqua Barbie girl.
No. Good
I'm
song,
a
not
Barbie
bad
girl
song.
in the Barbie world.
Oh, Grease! Oh, he's got a few ones. All right, fine, Kingdom Hearts. But I'll try to remember for next week.
The Grease one next week.
Yeah, that'll be good. What?
That's a strong contender.
Yeah.
But we can't not do the Kingdom Hearts one.
Yeah, it's true.
It was the Sanctuary.
Yo, what's time? It's your boy Buff Pro, baby.
I don't remember which one this is.
I don't know myself.
Find out. Go ahead.
Well, no. Before I might as well do the end of stream chill before we.
Okay.
Yeah. So as for me, I'm going to crawl into bed and then look at my phone and go on dating apps and get rejected by many attractive women. That's gonna be my evening. Tomorrow, though, I'll be on Twitch to play probably Cyberpunk. So pop in for that if you are so inclined. Krendar, what about you?
Today I'm starting a big old nostalgia trip. It'll be stream number 1 of Tomb Raider: The Original.
Triangle boobs for everyone.
I love that game. The original one's
And
awesome.
I would like to point out there is a remaster of that game. We are not playing that. We are playing the absolute original version.
I prefer the original. The remake is.
It takes you a while to get used to those controls. I briefly played it for myself a while back, and I'm like, oh wow.
For me, it'll be dusting off decades old muscle memory.
Oh, the ledges! Grabbing onto ledges in that game is a fucking nightmare.
Get that space bar ready.
Yeah. But it does teach you some good timing, though. You have to be very careful of when you're jumping and what position you are. Otherwise, you'll just hit the wall and you'll just fall straight down.
Yeah, she makes that noise.
Also, don't forget to save your game because this was before autosave was a thing.
Yeah. You're gonna die. Have you noticed how strong a lot of the enemies were? Even like the wolves, they're actually surprisingly durable, especially early on.
But there's
Just don't fall into the bear trap.
I've developed an excellent way to cheese all that, though.
Just go on.
What
top
you do
of a
is you hold down both your fire button and jump button, and then you just press left and right. So you're just like constantly bouncing side to side in like an arc while shooting them.
Yeah.
You're only spending maybe 5% of your time on the ground between jumps. They can't touch you.
God, when the T-Rex shows up for the first time, my kid brain was blown. I was
That
like,
was some weird shit.
yeah, because the game couldn't render past a certain point; it was all in shadow, and suddenly out of it comes this fucking pixelated, blocky T-Rex. I'm like, ah! And the
Hey,
music.
that's how you take. That's how game devs take hardware limitations and turn it into atmosphere for the game.
They did it great with Silent Hill. You couldn't see that far, so they just put the whole town in fog.
You know what my favorite original PlayStation game is?
What is it?
7. Final Fantasy 7.
It's the original Resident Evil 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, they're good contenders.
They were good. They were good.
For
me,
Resident
Symphony
Evil
of
is
the
my
Night.
favorite series. It's my favorite gaming series. The remake of the first Resident Evil for GameCube is probably the best. Just in
Castlevania
atmosphere.
Symphony of the Night, still the best Castlevania game to this day.
I've never gotten into Castlevania of game series.
This is the game where they started doing the Metroidvania and RPG element thing in the games. It was so good.
It's also the one that really started to like develop the sort of look and feel of Castlevania, like going over the top with the Baroque architecture and stuff like that. Beforehand, it was just they were just
good.
Yeah. Although Castle Dracula always appeared really cool. I never really got into it myself, but I do like watching people play it. Rich from Review Tech did a really good one. So did Evan, who, by the way, we didn't mention. He's out of the hospital now. He was not doing very well. That's Evan Lefevre for you guys. So thoughts and prayers.
Oh dang,
Best friend forever.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from him or seen him do things in a while.
He's got a channel. Like his channel's still going.
Huh. Okay, I guess
You're in touch with him sometimes. Pass him all of our best wishes.
Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, and just before we go to Buff here, we don't have anyone planned for next week. In fact, we don't have any guests from here on out. So I've got to go and start doing some. Yeah, it's been a while since we were completely without, but we have tons of people.
Hey, we should hit up Poisoning the Well.
Yeah, actually, that would work. I could definitely ask.
We get to have them back on again.
Yeah, that would be some good shit.
I can't hear you for some reason.
That's weird.
Okay, well, good thing we're wrapping up then. Let's do it.
There's your boy Buff Roo 122 on the upper deck, uppy decky, upper decky.
Upper decky.
Smoky. That's smoky.
Smoky.
Tonight we're gonna do Kingdom Hearts Sanctuary on the ones and twos. Your boy Buff Roo, how the body looking on upper deck levels. Got further ado.
Everything's gone deaf for me, if you guys can hear me.
Oh, this one! Yeah, I know this song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, isn't this the main theme?
Yep. And all the trailers. God, it's aggressively weeb.
And yet there's so many other things that are still far more weeb as well, which is terrifying. This is about as weeb as you can get, and I can still stomach it.
Oh, this is...
I'm gonna need to see the best dancing I've ever seen out of him to make up for this.
Right?
Okay, getting better. I love how his dancing rarely has any connection to what he's singing in any way.
I want you fast asleep, and all I fear means nothing. It's you and I. There's a new
Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
Sanctuary now fears and lies melt away. Hey, music get tight. What's left of me? What's left of me now?
It isn't just that it's the song itself isn't just that it's super weebish. It's that particular era of weeb of anime, and the fandom. Oh god, the fangirls all on DeviantArt, all just starting to hit puberty and realizing that there's a thing called yaoi. Oh, they went to town on this franchise. They went to town hard.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
All those trench coats with zippers and such. Oh, prime material.
Yeah, that was weird. Everything went deaf for me for some reason.
Well,
yeah, strange.
You didn't get to hear him sing.
Kind of a mercy for you, really.
Yeah.
You lucked out.
I've seen him before.
This is the worst thing he's ever had.
Yes, without a doubt.
There it is. Whenever he tries to do anything remotely resembling a high note.
Oh, Buff, never change.
This should be the new official song in the actual cinematic at the beginning of the game now.
Does he have a picture of himself behind him?
Yep. He's got
God.
like 6 more on the other wall that we can't see from this angle.
Right. I wonder if the rest of his house is full of those too, like hundreds of them.
The quality of the picture of him looks like it's self-imposed, like it's photoshopped. Oh my god.
I also like how people in chat say that their ears need counseling and ketamine.
I will say he's a better dancer than he is a singer.
Oh,
absolutely.
At least he can dance.
He can dance.
We've determined there's an inverse connection between the two. The one time that he actually sang halfway decent, he wasn't dancing as well.
Yeah.
It's like the better one gets, the worse the other gets.
Yeah, we should just tell this guy, like, hey, you're a good dancer. Focus on that, not on singing.
No. We can't have him not singing poorly. That would not be the proper Buff Krell experience.
That's right. I mean, even when if we were to ever actually have him on the show, God, that would be a glorious day. But if we did, we'd at least try to get him to sing a few bars. You know, like we know exactly what we're walking into.
But what though? What would you have him sing? That's the question.
That's a very good question.
That's an amazing question. Friday.
Friday.
Guess what his best singing performance ever was? What song was it?
I have no idea.
It was Wet Ass Pussy.
Yep.
Well, I can buy that because they're not really singing in that song. It's rapping. So I can kind of understand that.
Controversial opinion.
Fired up the shots.
Controversial. It's just rapping is more a rhythm sort of thing. It's not really singing unless you do sing. But
I can't
so.
wait till Hannibal and Monty hear about this.
Oh. I mean, I'm a hip hop fan. I love
I'm-
rap. It's just I'm not going to say it's.
I'm teasing. I'm just
Okay.
commenting that some people would be offended by that. Not me though.
Oh,
I don't
well,
care.
they don't need to get offended. It's not like I'm taking it in a very
You
judgmental
sound
manner.
so much
Yeah,
like John Morgan right now. It's terrifying.
Look, I didn't mean to offend anybody. I was just bullying him because he bullied me first.
Halo into your video. No, but Shab, we need to move on now. That's what Jeans would say. No, but we need to transition now because it's 3 a.m. where I am, and we need to go to movie night, Shab.
That's a halfway decent one.
All right. Still no reply out of the thing I tweeted over to Shabby.
Aw. Everyone, bully him. Bully him with the dead apes.
I'm gonna bully him later tonight because I think John's doing a pedantic pedestrian show tonight, and if so, I'll be on and we'll bully Shab.
Excellent.
All right, we gotta lay it. So I hope everyone's enjoyed it. It's been a fun show tonight, Origin. I'm glad that you came on. We had a lot of fun with you.
It was a pleasure having me on, and I enjoyed your company, and we were all very insightful and laid back.
Yeah. All right.
Good times.
Well,
and everybody drop by my Twitch channel in about an hour and 45 minutes if you want to see what Lara Croft looks like when she's made of 7 polygons.
2 very particular ones stand out. Pointy, if you will.
Do so. It's a fun game, regardless.
It is.